I have something that I want to share with you. And it's a confession of sorts. And the reason that I'm sharing it is because it is so completely human, but it's something that we don't talk about. It has its roots in emotional trauma, which is something that unfortunately we all experience in this thing that we call life. I have been running from my emotional trauma and pain for most of my life. I just didn't realize that I was running from it. I minimized it, I categorized it, I intellectualized it, I read self-help books about it, but the one thing that I didn't do was allow myself to feel it. I relate so much to the parable of Jonah and the whale. Just like Jonah trying to escape Nineveh, I feel like I've been running and I've taken this turn and this turn and this turn, and I've moved and I've changed careers. Going until I was swallowed by the whale. And in my case, it was a whale of emotional pain. It was early March when my pain caught up with me. After 6 months or so of just intense emotional situations and several years of really high stress, I was burnt out beyond recognition. My grandmother had passed away. I had had a huge, monumental falling out with my father that was really just the culmination of a decade of tension. And I went on a dream vacation to the Middle East for 2 weeks. That quickly turned into a nightmare when the person that I was visiting turned out to be somebody completely different than I thought that they were. My body was suffering, my adrenal glands were shot. I had this awful pain in my right hip that made it really uncomfortable to sit or lay down or really to rest at all. I couldn't sleep, and my heart was totally raw from my experiences. And for the first time in many years, I was totally enveloped by sadness. I didn't want to wake up, but I also couldn't sleep. I was restless, but I didn't want to leave my house. And I knew I needed to work, but the strength that I had always depended on to be there to help me work had suddenly vanished. I'll never forget sitting in my office in March with tears streaming down my face and finally admitting out loud to myself that I couldn't keep doing this, that I wasn't okay. I couldn't live a healthy and fulfilled life while carrying this deep and heavy pain. It felt like all of the years that I had been intellectualizing my pain and pushing it away joined forces, and all of it landed on my doorstep in one fell swoop. I saw it all in front of me, both past and present trauma, like a wave that hit with tsunami force. Being molested as a little girl, my parents' divorce that turned my world completely upside down at 18, years and years of lies that were sold as truth, anorexia that was really just the byproduct of me wanting to have one iota of control over my life, a losing battle with perfectionism that left me feeling like I would never, ever be enough. Being diagnosed with PTSD at 24 from a long series of emotionally traumatic events and a religious construct that was so tight, I felt like there was no room in there for me to be anything but perfect. Just feeling like a total failure. I realized that trying to go on the way that I had been for so many years was like trying to grow a flower in a room devoid of light. And so through my tears, I made a decision to stop running, to stop intellectualizing, and to start healing from my emotional pain and trauma. For the first time ever, I leaned in to my pain. I faced it head on and I felt it deep in my soul. I slept, I journaled, I retreated, I took a break from social media. I got really quiet so that I could hear my own voice again. I stopped comparing my trauma and belittling it, and instead started to respect my experiences and my soul's cry for attention. And I started writing every day. I started documenting my healing and tracking the things that made me feel whole again. And I want to share those things with you. I have an absolutely free ebook called Didn't Break Me, and it is my love letter to you and to my past self, full of the things that I wish someone would have told me when I was in the depths of my deepest emotional pain. In some ways, it's a roadmap that I made for myself to heal from pain so that in the future, I can find my way out again. Belittling, devaluing, and stuffing our pain will continue to keep us trapped under the weight of it. If we want to heal, we must accept that our pain matters. It's real and it's valid. But it doesn't have to be something that we carry on our hearts and our souls and our minds for the rest of our lives. I am Jaclyn Steele. I'm a songwriter, a performing artist, and an author, and someone deeply familiar with emotional pain. And if there is one thing that I have learned over the last year, it's that healing is possible. My free 40-ish page book contains my story and 6 things that I dug out from my journal that made a giant difference in my healing. There are no secrets, no magic pills, no skipping over, and no hidden routes. Just sweet notes on the importance of rest and acceptance and making space for yourself and movement and empowerment and encouragement that you are not alone in what you feel. I'm not a psychologist or a therapist. I don't want to be your coach. I don't want to be your guru. I want to be your cheerleader. I know that you aren't broken. You are brilliant. You can download or listen to my free ebook, Didn't Break Me, by clicking the link below. And you can listen to my single, Didn't Break Me, on Spotify or iTunes, wherever music is streamed. May our healing pave the way for the healing of others. You are so much stronger than you know.